SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we're going to be doing a different type of video today. I'm actually doing a few of these. You may have seen some of them retroactively. And what I'm doing is reacting to old videos from the CEO of T-Mobile, Mike Sievert. Some of these videos are from like 8, 9, 10 months ago. But what I want to kind of put into perspective and into scope is how T-Mobile is very different today. You know, the uncarrier moniker continues to get thrown around, but they move in a very different way when it comes to consumer, I don't know, uncarrier moves, right? They announce those, and we really aren't seeing the uncarrier nature. We're seeing things like price increases on new plans. We're seeing some of the things that you have to do in order to take advantage of them. You have to be on the most expensive plan. We've seen the legacy plans get value removed from them, right? So very different. And folks, this is only 10 months ago. So what's really changed and what's different is that T-Mobile is no longer bound to the T-Mobile and Sprint merger agreements that they made, the promises that they had to keep with regulators, right? So the time has come where now they can raise pricing. Nobody can stop them. There's nothing that they're tied to that forces them to be that way. So now they can do whatever they want. And, you know, in my estimation, there are some consumer unfriendly things that they have been doing kind of in a sneaky way, you know, kind of covered up and masked in some ways. Anyways, let's react and respond to this video. It's from CNBC. Fair use. I'm just responding to the video. No copyright intended. All right, so just throwing that out there. Let's watch the video together. Now, before I start it, I just want to let you guys know, if you have been enjoying the content on the channel, you want to show your appreciation, you can support us. The real SMT Buy Me Coffee link is in the description. Keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. And if you're looking for a really good service, you're looking for a really good deal on your wireless, you can get it from our wireless partner, Mint Mobile. The link in the description will unlock savings. They just increased all of the data allotments on all their plans, and they didn't even touch pricing. Very unusual in this day and age to see this type of value brought to the market. So we're proud to stand with our partner, Mint Mobile. Use the link that's in the description. Unlock those savings. Get that legendary customer care, and you'll be helping out the channel in the process. Let's start the video. Let's react.
And a first on CNBC interview, T-Mobile US CEO Mike Sievert. Mike, great to have you. I want to talk about the consumer in this inflationary environment. You say that you guys aren't raising prices, but surely your costs are going up. So what's the strategy? Is it, I mean, you seem to be bringing on benefits like a luxury credit card, right? Is it reducing churn and boosting loyalty?
Can we talk about this smug smirk right here? This. Oh my God! Go. My bad. Go. Yeah.
Well, you know, John, our strategy has been consistent for a decade now, which is we make big investments in our customers, and because of that, more customers join the uncarrier. And one of the things you'll notice about today's big investment is that it's so well timed with what's on consumers' minds. You know, as Dan just said in the last segment, consumers are stressed out right now. They're worried about the economy. They're worried about inflation. But simultaneously, after 2 years of lockdowns and COVID, they're ready to travel. And those two things create a combined pressure. So we're able to use our size and our scale to make huge investments for our customers to make travel easier. And what the uncarrier does, we smash pain points. And this is a big one, this travel move we're announcing today.
Okay.
All right, they smash pain points. That's what the uncarrier does. This goes back to the John Leisure days, where they give customers the things that the other carriers don't. Verizon, AT&T. For example, Verizon doesn't really have a good international package. It is better than it used to be, but it's still not as good as, say, for example, AT&T's, which is great, but you have to pay for it, right? T-Mobile basically brought a bunch of value to the Magenta MAX plan, right? And obviously, they upsell you, right? You got to get on the best plan to get those benefits, but they did offer it included and built in to the plan. So, big truth on that. Let's go on.
Okay, so does that mean that your expectation is as inflation pushes prices harder, consumers are looking for a deal from the brands they trust, and maybe they're willing to sweep in some spending that they would put elsewhere to stick with you? Is that, because I know you say your strategy hasn't changed, but the consumer sure has changed.
Absolutely. You know, and by the way, look at how our competitors are responding to this macroeconomic environment. In the last month or so, we've seen $2 billion of price increases being slammed on American consumers by AT&T and Verizon combined. That's nuts. Right at the time when consumers are most concerned about inflation. That's not the way to handle it. What we're doing is we're creating new benefits and new value. And to your point, you know, we're putting those values in our best plans. Magenta MAX is our most popular plan. And when people select Magenta MAX because we're solving their travel problems, well, that may actually make our revenues rise. And if that happens, everyone wins. So for us economically, this is about loving our customers and attracting more of them, but also having them rise up to our very best and most popular plans where we have a chance to make that return on revenues.
All right, so it's wordplay. What he calls the best plans are the most expensive plans. In order to take advantage or to get access to those things, you have to pay more. They were not able to increase pricing on plans during this 3-year merger agreement, right, with the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. So they couldn't do it. It would have been corporate suicide if they would have raised pricing, right? Because that's the whole moniker of the T-Mobile's uncarrier. So what they did was now, you know, when you're talking about, you know, April of 2023, they created new plans and they kind of took away the value of Magenta MAX. They added that value onto the Go 5G and the Go 5G Plus in order to try to generate more revenue. So they get to retain this uncarrier promise of not raising rate plans by creating new rate plans and making them more expensive, taking value from the old ones, adding it to the new ones, making people have to go to the new plans in order to get those same benefits. Right, so this is the T-Mobile playbook. What they call the uncarrier playbook is very different today. They name things uncarrier, but unfortunately, what they're doing is they play and they wordplay and they manipulate the semantics of the branding when it comes to the plans. So very, very sneaky and sly from the CEO. You guys can easily see what they're doing here. All right, let's go on.
Hey, Mike, it's Deirdre. It's good to have you on the show. You're positive on travel now. You say the consumers, they're ready to get out and travel. Certainly, we've seen that. But as the economy softens, prices remain high. Do you expect that to continue? Are there other ways in which you can serve your customer that you're looking ahead to if that falls off, if we do enter a recession?
Yeah, this is why this move is so well timed. I mean, travel's up in April, May, and June versus 19 for the first time since the pandemic. We're up versus 19 in travel spending, but at a time when consumers are stressed out. So what are we doing? We're providing completely free global roaming of high-speed data in an unprecedented move. Now you can get off that plane and not be faced with a choice of selecting some special plan, or if you forget to select a plan, maybe being slammed with $2,000 in roaming fees, like can still happen at AT&T. Instead, with T-Mobile Magenta MAX, you just travel the world, and high-speed data is included for the first time ever for free. And that's,
you guys notice he really takes the opportunity to slam the competitors, right? He slams AT&T there. He slammed them in the previous part where he talked about them raising costs, right? Raising fees, generating an extra $2 billion. You know, we're not doing that. Well, the truth is they couldn't do it, right? They were stuck to those merger agreements. They couldn't do it. So he spun that into something positive for the company, and then he turned it into something negative to the competition, right? Because they couldn't do it, right? So, hey, this is just marketing. This is just brilliance, right? To frame the other guys as evil and them as the good guys. Let's go on.
That's a problem solved. Now, you have to get there by aircraft, and so we're including now free Wi-Fi on flights for Magenta customers across all the major American airlines, American, Delta, Alaska, and coming soon, United. This is huge. It costs consumers $1 billion a year to connect to Wi-Fi while flying, not T-Mobile customers. So these are huge problems that we're solving at a time when consumers are worried about rising prices.
I will say that I do like that. I like that they include that into the plan, right? Magenta MAX at the time. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be moving forward. You know, right now you can't get Magenta MAX in the store. You have to order it online or something, right? So they've shifted everything to the Go 5G Plus plan, which is more expensive than Magenta MAX, right? So, again, they've taken value away from the current plans, or I should say now considered legacy or whatever, and they've put it onto the new plans, which are more costly. So they say they remove customer pain points, but you're not really removing customer pain points 100% of the way when you only put the really good stuff, on the most expensive plan. That wouldn't be Un-carrier. That would be typical. That's what carriers do. Whether you go to the AT&T premium plan or you go to the Verizon Get More, those plans always offer the most out of all the plans. You don't get more value on lesser cost plans. That's very carrier. It's not Un-carrier to make your most expensive plan the best plan. That's carrier. Let's go on.
I understand what you're saying. Travel has been stronger. It has caught up and in some cases surpassed 2019 levels. But my question is more looking forward, looking months out to the end of this year when the economy softens, when prices may, go lower or consumers don't feel like they want to spend as much. Is this the right move when we're entering this environment, not what we've seen over the past months?
Absolutely, because it saves people money, and that's what they expect from T-Mobile. And I think, as we look at a potential recessionary environment, T-Mobile's doubling down on the idea of offering superior value. Across every category, especially essential categories where people won't drop the category, there will be a flight to value. And we're shoring up T-Mobile's long-standing fame for value because when customers have tight budgets, they will look to save money. And in our category, that's T-Mobile.
He ain't wrong. T-Mobile is still the most cost-effective way to get wireless service out of the big mobile players. Technically, across all their plans, comparatively, they're a little bit cheaper than AT&T, unless you're getting any type of special discounts, and they're generally a little bit cheaper than Verizon as well. The mix and match that Verizon and AT&T can do does offer you a way to kind of bring down costs on the total accounts, but for the most part, that's what really makes T-Mobile the fierce competitor that they are, is their attractive price points and entry of access. Now, if they could actually do some mix and match, then it's a total slam dunk. T-Mobile is going to be the better option for pricing. But that pricing is starting to kind of it's starting to become a little bit gray, right? So I don't know. In my opinion, based on this commentary and the way that T-Mobile currently is moving, there definitely is the shine of the Un-carrier seems to be wearing off. This is just 10 months ago. My, how things are different today. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.